South African President Ramaphosa has made it known that on no occasion should any South African employ an undocumented migrant in South Africa. Lovelace, this information is coming in hot as it is. Am I in support of this? Yes. But later on in this video, I'll be sharing my opinions on why only documented migrants should be employed in South Africa. But let's watch Ramphosa's speech, South Africans, Nigerians reacting to this, and then we come back.
The border management process. We need also to strengthen enforcement. The Immigration Act prohibits anyone from employing illegal foreigners who are not documented. This law prescribes the employment of an illegal, undocumented immigrant as an offense that is punishable through imprisonment or a fine, or both imprisonment or a fine. And the Labor Relations Act and the Basic Conditions of Employment Act does protect foreign nationals who are certificated and documented. But we must now state it very clearly. I want to state it very clearly that employers who continue to employ people who are not documented are committing an offense. And we are going to make sure that those employers stop what they are doing, because South Africans are most unhappy. And they have a sense that the jobs that they should be performing are being taken from them by those who are not documented, but particularly by those employers who practice the acts such as employing people from other countries undocumented because they are cheap labor. So they are committing an offense, and I call on employers, they must stop employing people who are not properly documented. And this is not xenophobic on our side. We welcome, and we've always welcomed workers from other countries who are certificated, who are documented. And we should also know that South Africans, even as they go to other countries, they can't just walk into a country and say, I want a job without being documented or certificated. Other countries require those who work in their countries to be documented. So we require exactly the same thing here. So employers must be warned that if they continue with this practice, it is an offense, they can be fined, and they can be put in prison. So clear warning to all employers. We must follow what the law prescribes in this regard. The Department of Labor has presented an Employment Services Amendments Bill that is to introduce quotas, as it were. Now, the department has, together with Home Affairs, been conducting a number of inspections, and they have been making great success. The operations that are being conducted by Deputy Minister Jomo Sibiya and other multidisciplinary colleagues are having fruit, but we want employers to make sure that they do not employ undocumented people. They must make sure that they stick by the terms of our law. And this is what will ensure that we create more employment for our people, we create more economic opportunities, and so that South Africans must not have a sense that their jobs are being taken away by people who are not documented. However, we do welcome people who are documented. They can always come and work in our country because we need their skills. We need their know-how. We also need the investment that they bring into our country. And this is the very progressive process that we should all embark upon moving forward. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Listen up. Nigerians in South Africa, Nigerians in South Africa, listen up. we are not the only people that leave our country to another country to look for better, greener pastures. This is a normal thing for people to migrate from one part of their country to a different country to look for a greener pasture. But do you know the difference between us Nigerians and others? When they get to that country, they respect the laws of the land. They follow the due process. But why is this? No single South African says anything good about Nigerians in South Africa. I know there are good Nigerians in South Africa, but the very few non-entities are the one that is ruining it for the good ones. Why is that? Why can't we just, at least for a change, why can't we just, our name, at least that name Nigeria, why can't that name be a good name for the change? The same thing that is happening in South Africa. South Africans, they don't like Nigerians because of all the things they've done there. The same thing in Dubai. Dubai don't like Nigerians. Now, the same thing in Turkey. Before, as a Nigerian, you in the US, you in the UK, before you will be able to apply for e-visa, electronic visa to go visit Turkey for like a short holiday stay, 2 days, 3 days and come back. But Nigeria, as soon as they land in that Turkey, as soon as Turkey opened the door for Nigerians, in less than 5 years, Turkey, Nigerians, they closed down some of the bad eggs they got into Turkey. They ruin it for the other Nigeria, the well-meaning Nigeria that want to genuinely, legitimately go to Turkey and do business. Same thing in South Africa. Same thing in Dubai. We are not the only people in Africa. We are not the only country. I have never heard of a Ghanaian man done anything wrong in South Africa, Turkey, Dubai. I've never heard a Zimbabwean man. I've never heard a Togolese man. What is this? Is this smartness? We are trying to be smart. Oh, we are smart. We are the smart people. We are smart. We know quick way to make money. For what? For the detriment of others. These few non-entities, these few bad eggs, they are ruining it for the rest of us. And the worst thing now is, wherever you go, it does not matter who you look like. It does not matter which country you're coming from. You are a Zimbabwe, you are a Togolese, as soon as they see you, they automatically think you're a Nigerian now. Because of the foundation we've laid. We can do better. We just need to do better. That's how it is. We just need to do better. Come on.
Different countries, Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Ghana, Nigeria. Last year, in this year, we saw our South African in Nigeria. They were naked, running on the streets. How do we feel as South African? We don't do those things to them, but they are doing things that is painful to us. They are calling us names. How stupid we are as South African. We are just lazy. But in our own country, can they live? Can they live? We don't have a problem with them. They must pack and leave. They occupy the buildings. They do as they wish. But now our government sees that these people, they are overdoing things in us. Because it's years we were complaining as leaders to say we are sick and tired of what is happening. Our children are dying. If a man loves you, he must take you back where he's coming from. We cannot marry a man from Nigeria to be my husband in South Africa. If he loves me, take me to Nigeria, wherever. Yeah. Let them go with their wife, with their kids. That should be fine for us. Thank you.
Can you please help me understand something? Why does Africa need to unite in South Africa? I mean, Africa is so huge. We have so many countries in Africa. We can unite in any other countries rather than uniting in South Africa. Like, why do we have to specifically unite in South Africa? Why do we have to unite in a country whereby our forefathers fought so hard, died to save South Africa, to save South Africa, to free South Africa? I mean, we can also do it in your countries. Why do we specifically need to unite in South Africa? Like, it doesn't make any sense. And you want us to unite in South Africa and yet you're here illegally. Like, does it make sense to you?
You know what's funny and sad at the same time? Everywhere you look now, You're seeing the same thing. Ghanaians protesting for Nigerians to leave their country, and South Africans shouting that Nigerians and other Africans should go back home. And I keep thinking, do these people even remember history? Because this isn't the first time Ghana has done something like this. In 1969, Ghana's government ordered what they called the Aliens Compliance Order. Over 200,000 West Africans, most of whom were Nigerians, were forced to leave overnight. Families lost everything: businesses, homes, children's education, all gone. And guess what happened next? Ghana's economy collapsed. Their shops were empty, trade suffered, and they went into deep recession. Then just a few years later, in 1983, when Nigeria was facing its own economic pressure, we also asked undocumented Ghanaians to return home. And that's when you saw the famous Ghana Must Go bags. But even after that, when Ghana's lights went out, it was Nigeria that sent electricity from our grid. When they needed trade and oil, Nigeria opened its doors again. We helped them rise back up. What of South Africa? That one hurts even more, because during the apartheid, when black South Africans were being beaten up and silenced, it was Nigeria that stood up for them. We funded the African National Congress, gave scholarship to South African students, and even led international campaigns to isolate the apartheid government. Nigeria lost money, influence, and even lives fighting for their freedom. But look at it today. South Africans attacking Nigerians in xenophobic violence, burning shops, blaming us for their unemployment, calling us criminals. It's really heartbreaking and painful to watch. Well, maybe it's time for our leaders to wake up, because the real issue isn't just how others treat Nigerians abroad. It's why Nigerians keep leaving in the first place. If we had a country that truly worked with good healthcare, steady light, jobs, security, and justice, nobody would be rushing to Ghana or South Africa looking for survival. Our leaders need to build Nigeria that values its people, fix our schools, repair our roads, support young entrepreneurs, eradicate corruption, create policies that make living here feel like a privilege and not a punishment. Because the truth is, when Nigeria works, Africans will respect us again. We don't need to beg for space anywhere else. We just need to build a country that makes us proud to stay in it.
My fellow Niger people, please, if you have anyone that lives abroad, do well to check up on them. So I almost lost my life in South Africa and no one would have known about it. So on this particular night, it was my friend's birthday. So we're coming back from the club. Next thing, we got attacked when we were in the car by some guys who've gone. So in the process of escaping, because we were able to escape while they were trying to take our chain and money, we were able to escape. The car got badly damaged. We went and got the bouncers. The bouncers came to the scene. We were able to catch one of the guys, recovered money from him, and I think passports. Yes, my friend's passport was there. After recovering that, we called the police. The police got there. Now the police were trying to twist the case and carry us. It was the residents around and the bouncers that were able to vouch for us that made us escape that. After these people had already taken the remaining cash on us. It was just crazy because these people actually knew that we were foreigners. Do you understand? And I'm just thinking, like, what if person don't even die that night? That kind of stuff. Do you understand? Because we are literally the same color. So, what thing you did actually do? It was,
You're welcome to my channel. I'm Delicious Army. Here I talk Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and all the good stuffs relating to them. Kindly like the video and subscribe to the channel. Lovelies, if I'll be sincere with you, the latest update from Ramphosa on migrants in South Africa is a welcomed development. In as much as we always, advocate that foreigners should, be accepted in the country where they are seeking refuge, it is also important to protect the sanity, the stability, and economy of that country. Because most of the times, go and look at statistics, it is those undocumented migrants, or like call them undocumented foreigners, are the ones who perpetuate most of the crimes in South Africa. So when it is made known that if you're not a documented migrant or foreigner in South Africa, you won't get a job, it will furthermore decrease the amount of crimes they will commit. Yes, let's look at it this way. When you go to a foreign country, the first thing you should do is legalize your stay. Do everything possible to legalize your stay. People who do not put in effort to legalize their stay in a country are those who have intentions of committing crimes there. I am not neglecting the fact that legalizing your stay in a country isn't that easy. I am not neglecting that fact. But there are people who do not put in effort at all. In fact, they want to be undocumented so that they can perpetrate crimes and go unnoticed. But this new development is welcomed. Why? Because these illegal ones who have refused to legalize their stay will now find it hard to get a job. And only the legal ones will get jobs. It is welcome. It is a good law. Because after all, most of the foreign countries, most of the civilized societies, if you don't have a legal document, you cannot work. So now South Africa is doing it. Why are we behaving like they have done something bad? No, they have done nothing bad. In my own opinion. If you go to the US, the UK, and Canada, if you don't have a legal permit, you cannot work. So now South Africa is doing it. It's nothing new. It is the normal thing. If you don't like it, go back to your country. Do everything possible to legalize your stay in the country, to prove to the system that I am not here to perpetrate crimes. Instead, I am here to add to your system. Yes, that is just it for me. If you're experiencing hardship in your country, understand that you're going into other people's country and those people have the right to, try to protect themselves, because if they allow you coming in your numbers without legalizing your stay, you will also make your country the same country you left. So you make their country the same country you left. The things that made you leave your own country, you will introduce it to their own country and make it unbearable for them. So I don't have any issue when I see people try to ensure foreigners keep to law and order in their country. I have no issues with it. Where I only have issues where you are, unnecessarily being wicked to them. That is where I'm like, no, 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 no. We are all humans. But so long as you're ensuring foreigners keep to law and order in your country, then it is accepted. It is even important, because if you don't do it, the mess they left in their own country, they will introduce it to yours. It's simple as ABC. But lovelies, feel free to drop your own opinions in the comment section. So Africans are happy about this latest update because they have been calling on Ramphosa to do something about the influx of what I call them undocumented foreigners in South Africa. And I'm very sure South Africans are happy about this latest development. I'm Delicious Army. Here I talk Ghana, Nigeria, South Africa, Kenya, and all the good stuff relating to them. Lovelies, kindly like the video and subscribe to the channel.